Assalamu alaikum and Eid Mubarak to all our viewers. So I hope you had a great day, but at the same time, since pretty hot season, I would say Ramzan wasn't that easy this year, but still people managed that and we all had a great time. And actually, I would say that now I've started missing Ramzan. You know, that is the best part about it, because we were all sort of detoxifying and we were in a proper routine. And suddenly, you know, Eid, and it seemed very weird that, you know, to eat in the day or something of that sort. But anyway, all is well that ends well, and I hope you're enjoying your Eid and you had a blast of a day. But as usual, we are having our Eid transmission today, and the best part is we have with us Anita Raja, a very known face on TV, but Anita moved to UK since she's a doctor and her husband is a doctor as well. So, you know, so she did her specialization, mashallah. She's got a boy who's 5 years old. Anita, it is great to see you back on TV after a very long time, and you're a sort of a visiting faculty or something of that sort at the moment.
No, I totally
but it's always great to see you.
No, I totally agree. Visiting faculty, I suppose, is the right term to be used. Yes, I did. It's a very odd feeling, I must admit. A very nice feeling as well at the same time. I'm not used to this anymore. But, you know, being here with the old crew is always amazing. And I think it's a privilege, because this is the first time, I must admit, in 6 years that I've been able to come back to Pakistan and celebrate Eid over here.
Okay, that's great.
So,
that's your first time?
Yes, first time
right.
since I moved there. So this is amazing. It couldn't get any better than this.
You're into this medical profession for a very long time, and your husband is also a doctor. So interestingly now, you were here, you were doing a very important and I think one of the best shows in PTV. That was the Dateline Pakistan. 5 days a week, I guess, if I'm not wrong.
It was 5 days a week,
and you were very brilliant with that. But certainly, totally transformation. You know, a transformation from the media side into the medicine side, and then becoming a doctor. You were a doctor with specialized, you know, and obviously, do you think things have changed over a period of time?
I think things have definitely changed. Yeah,
changed for good?
Changed for good.
You're happy?
I'm very happy.
That's what matters at the end
I
of the
think
day.
serving humanity is doing me good.
I think awesome. So, time to introduce our guest,
Yes,
Anita.
definitely. So, our first guest, I don't think they need any sort of introduction at all, actually, both of our guests. Our first guest is Faisal Javed Khan, who's here with us, and of course, we know him. He's a prominent figure in BTI, and he's a member of Senate as well. And of course, we're going to ask him a couple of questions about how he actually spends Eid in a minute. And then next to him, we've got lovely Romina Khurshid Alam. We don't need to give her any sort of introduction either. I'm sure you guys see her every now and then. She's a member of National Assembly of Pakistan and Pakistan Muslim League and Noon. And we can ask her a couple more questions about how she spends Eid as well in a minute. Sure.
So, Faisal, Eid day, as we all say Eid, I mean, especially for the politicians, you know, since this is the first choti Eid, as we say, you know, the meaty Eid, after you've officially become a senator now. First of all, Faisal, you know, when you became, I was so happy. I told you, remember, I was one of those, you know, who really, you know, I was really looking forward to become somebody, you know, be in the mainstream. Finally, Faisal, you were one of the youngest senators. And you were always very vocal. I think you've hosted more than 500-600 programs of PTI. I mean, all these rallies and everything. But Faisal, that transformation now from a perspective which was from a person that was standing out and looking towards that building, and now sitting inside and sorting out the issues of the people standing outside. How does it feel? Tell us about the transformation.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting, and Eid Mubarak to both of you. And no, this is my second Eid after becoming a senator, because first Eid, because you know, we had the general elections in July, and before that it was Ramzan.
Yeah, I remember.
We were campaigning, and Senate elections were held in March last year. So this is second choti Eid, but after coming into the government, this is the first choti Eid. And best thing is, in the whole month of Ramadan, there was no load shedding. So that was another Allah's blessings, I think. And apart from that, fitness, generosity and all that, you know, I package it in a way that universally, one thing that I love about Ramadan is that universally, everybody has the same schedule as far as Pakistan and other Muslim countries are concerned. So the day part is divided in a very organized manner. So otherwise you're all over the place. Off Ramzan, you're all over the place. So you have to catch up with people, other people's schedule. But in Ramzan,
it's kind of fixed, yeah.
It's kind of fixed. So that's another thing that I like. So yeah, from D Chowk to that building, you know, a fantastic journey, I would say. When we did this 126 days sit-in, 126 consecutive days of dharna. So we used to see these buildings as well, and we were like, I announced it one day that this movement is getting so stronger day by day. The one day that all our workers would enter this building, and some of you will become MNAs, and some of you will become senators and legislators, and because the dharna basically taught us a lot, and basically we were doing well in metros, but we were struggling in rural areas of Pakistan, politically speaking. So dharna basically allowed us penetrate into the rural areas as well.
Galvanized everyone.
Yes, exactly. That dharna took the message all across. I remember we did jalsas in between dharna, and Ladkana Jalsa was such a great jalsa, and we went there in the village. It was in the village, not in the city. So there where we got the signals that PTI, nobody can stop it now, because the move and dharna really helped. So emotionally, I'm very much connected to D Chowk, and I usually sit there even these days, even after, I don't sit in parliament most of the times, I sit in D Chowk and hold my meetings there, do TV interviews and all. So yeah, I'm in love with D Chowk a lot.
Good, positive change.
Ravina, do you want to tell us a bit about how you sort of spent Ramazan, because being a woman, being politically active, doing your duties between, with your family life, trying to balance everything out. How do you actually do it? I mean, what do you actually do?
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me on this special Eid show, and because of you guys, wherever this voice is going to be, or this talk show or TV show is going to be watched, I really want to wish everybody a very happy Eid Mubarak, and I wish this Eid bring more prosperity and more love to everybody. So, well, if you talk about the Holy Ramadan, so I'm a very lucky person in a way, because I have to have not only these 30 fasts, I have to have 40 more. So 40 of mine and 30 these. So it will all become 70.
So you do fast in the month of Ramadan?
Yeah, yes, I do. Because of course, God is for all. And because of course, in all, wherever I go, everybody is fasting. So it's much better to have the fast and have the blessing more. So I always call myself more lucky and more blessed, and thanks to God. And well, if you talk about the Eid and all that month, so I have to celebrate. Of course, we do celebrate, and we do meetups, we do have iftaris, we invite people, we go, and then of course we do all the cooking. And so, for that purpose also, I have to have 4 Eids, like Christmas, Easter, and then Badi Eid.
You're very lucky. You're very lucky.
And then of course, this is very lucky, but sometimes, one part which is not lucky, that I have to give more gifts rather than receiving. So because Eid is all giving and sharing, but I believe when you become elder or the big one, so you have to get, you can't get, you have to give more. So, and then other than that, I believe the fasts are the basic thing which taught you a lot. As Faisal mentioned in the beginning, detoxing. So I believe in Ramzan or in fast, you detox not only physically, mentally as well.
Mentally, spiritually, I mean, in every aspect actually.
Every aspect, and that's a blessing by the side of God, where I think the most important thing which I always learn, that Ramzan always taught us forgiveness. So until and unless you don't forgive, I don't think so you get the result better. So I think to get more better and good result, you have to perform better. So for me, it's really amazing time, and it's the love we always, everywhere we have seen for each other, for sharing, especially it's very interesting, and I think it's a great blessing still that on the sides of streets we have seen so many people who are arrange the special dastarkhan for the Ramzan. So I think still in Pakistan it's a blessing, and that's the beauty.
That's the beauty of it.
Yes.
Definitely. And Faisal, I think, living away from Pakistan, you'd actually appreciate how Eid is celebrated in this country, and you miss it a lot.
But we've heard that there's so many Pakistanis and Muslims in particular in UK.
Yeah.
I mean, the culture, is it different? I mean, I've heard that, a lot of families get together, they have dinners and lunches and all. And that's how they do it. And iftari is almost an every day.
Yes, definitely. You're absolutely right about that. But the thing is, that feel of being in your own country. You miss that. You miss that. There's this tug, this constant tug.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing which this time we came across to see along with the from the social media and from other forums, that in the churches they have organizing so much iftar dinners, iftars for the people. So I think it's also a great message of interfaith harmony as well.
Absolutely.
And love. I believe more on the social cohesion.
That's how we need to blend together.
So that's the way they are doing it.
Yeah. Faisal, how would you say you usually spend your Eid?
Well, I tell you what, as you were just mentioning that it is good to be in Pakistan on Eid, but I tell you what, things have changed a lot, especially in metros. That culture is not there anymore, which is a sad thing. I would request everybody to. Okay, here's an idea, not a request, just an idea. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, it's up to you. The idea that, particularly on Eid, you get to meet people, your relatives, those people that you don't really often get to meet them, or you will get to meet them only once a year, and that is on Eid, most of them. And then there's the enemy in the middle, and that's your mobile phone. Especially when you're talking to your elders and using your phone. So the idea is that for only one day, just switch off your phone from morning till evening only, and then you can later on check all the backlog, you can clear it. But for one day only, just switch it off and have that old feel of Eid. But there's no
To be together, to
Yes,
talk.
exactly.
To be,
Talk, and because you're only meeting those guys for only one day in the entire year.
Absolutely.
So try that. I think, and
And there, it is true that there are certain relatives and your members of your family at times, people who know you. I mean, you would only get together on lunches or dinners or on Eid. And you're right, once a year, twice a year max.
Twice a
Yeah, or on weddings,
That's
for that
it.
matter.
or
Yeah.
at weddings.
Weddings,
If you
yeah.
go to
No,
weddings,
that's
That's
absolutely.
not, sometimes even not on weddings now. as
It's,
well.
you know, this,
Everyone is in rush.
definitely, and there was this really amazing message in a restaurant in London once we went, and it didn't have Wi-Fi, so there was no Wi-Fi in the restaurant. And my husband's like, what's what's the password for the Wi-Fi? And there was this board there, and there's no Wi-Fi here. Talk to each other. You know? So that was amazing. I think that's definitely the
more
same
needed.
message. Live in the moment, enjoy it, and you're absolutely right. You know, Faisal, when we were younger, there was Eid, there was churiyan, mehndi, and there was
That
a
culture is eroding day by day.
Chandra.
Yes, exactly.
Chandra.
It's a
Mehendi,
sad
for
thing,
that
yes.
matter. I remember my sisters were so keen to go to the markets and get
Now
the
we
mehendi
both
done.
don't.
No, now we both
Now they don't. Even
And
the
you would
churia
always
concept,
encourage
your
kids
bangles
to
are
come
necessary.
join us with for the prayer and change and all that. These days, what's happening is the father will say, no, let him sleep, no problem, we'll come back. So that
When
wasn't the culture
we were young,
before,
our
yeah.
father used to make sure that everyone gets up on time, and he was very regimental because he was in military, so time and everything, and everybody would be fallen.
A cousin, the whole family will go together to the mosque.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And another very important factor, which I really miss, that is about the Eid cards. Remember, we used to go and get those
Yes.
Eid
Now
cards,
we have WhatsApp
packets
cards,
of
which are
12,
very pathetic.
and we would write, but now you have a certain
Cut,
copy
paste.
paste,
Send to all.
That's it.
send to
One
all.
message to all.
All,
And at
exactly.
the end you will came across to know, oh my God, this message I received from him and him, and then all the
That has
changes.
happened to
Oh
me.
yes, definitely. And also another thing, have you noticed that invitations are also dying out now?
Yeah.
You know, for instance, if you need to invite someone,
Yeah.
even I remember there was a friend of mine back then. It was a big thing. I remember this was in 2014. She didn't give us any cards. There was a Facebook invitation to her wedding, and I was like, oh my God, what's happening here? But
That's
now
true.
I think it's a more common thing. Is
You
it
make a
something?
page.
Yeah, I'll make a page.
These many people are going, these many invited, these are still unsure, and they have regretted.
Oh yeah.
I
Go on.
know.
This is happening.
Yes,
This is
exactly.
also-
So I was just going through my log and just found out that there are many messages pending from the previous Eid, which I'll reply on this Eid. So I'm waiting for next. I'll do it tonight. So message coming last year,
Make sure you
Will
do
be-
it tonight.
rewarded this year.
And
That's a good one.
don't wait for next Eid.
Yeah. No, it happens. You cannot do it. We send to all that formula basically.
Yeah.
It's really, it's a gadgetry getting at our day by day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This artificial intelligence or maybe this
definitely.
modern technology,
Yeah.
it's taking over.
It is.
Slowly but surely, it has taken over. I don't know. I fail to understand the lifestyle which we'll be having most likely, say, in another 15 years from now, would be so difficult and so different. God knows what our kids are going to see in the future, because the way life has transformed during the last 20 to 25 years, especially post-internet.
Oh yes, I'd say 2000.
Dynamics
Yes.
of living
Totally
definitely.
entirely
So if
changed.
you remember, you would remember, definitely remember the time when there was only PTV.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when light used to go off, there was sukoon, peace in the house. Okay, let's talk to each other. No TV. It was only PTV. Even then, we would thank that, okay, there's no light now. We
We had
can
so much time
talk
to
each
play
other.
and go outdoor, and and sort of, we were engaged in all sorts of sports. Now even you talk about tennis, you talk about cricket, you talk about football, kids are playing on the TV.
It's
holding
very
those gadgets.
scary. It's very
and
scary.
that's the unfortunate part.
It's very
So
scary.
They're not having that physical immunity.
No, not at all. Yes.
Immune power
And
is
they've
not
got
there, it's
they've
missing.
definitely, and they've got this whole digital online community,
Yes.
and they've got these online virtual friends that they're never going to
Absolutely.
meet, and
From
they're
different
talking
countries,
to yeah,
but
from
not
different
from their own countries.
No,
yeah.
definitely, and they're this contact, this feeling of somebody's going to knock at your door, a friend wants you to come out and play cricket. I mean that's totally obsolete now. I suppose obsolete, isn't
Obsolete
it?
is history.
What would you say, Faisal?
Because I've got two boys, 13 and 8
Oh my
is
God.
still into, but 13 one is totally into these games and
Okay.
gadgets.
Yeah.
And he's always talking about new games
Yeah.
and some sort of new
New
gadgets.
things,
and
yeah.
this is happening and that is happening. And I would, because I can't relate.
No.
You understand?
And they
That
don't
is the
have
problem.
any joy of
We used to play, the school I
excitement
was
of
in,
play.
Ravina, we used to play all games.
Yeah,
Hansa was
I
our
too.
favorite. I would style, ball like him and then, I would
Yes.
bat like him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
his attitude, I would copy him also in the games. Miyadad, Now these sports, they doesn't exist anymore because maximum you'd see kids playing basketball in schools because schools have shrinked also.
That's it.
Multiple factors and multiple
They're
reasons.
less
But Faisal, one important thing which I would like to ask you. Since, when PTI was, competing and sort of, you struggled a lot for sure. And we were expecting a much different result in the previous election, not this one, in the previous election. And then we thought, maybe not, but eventually the struggle went on, and this was the result you ended up having. A lot of change was expected. A lot of, we just thought that since Imran Khan is going to be there as a Prime Minister, the moment we'll see him, the next morning we'll wake up and we'll be, we'll be seeing something like Malaysia maybe.
Definitely, yes.
But I do understand it takes time. But Faisal, especially for the youth, we always call them the demographic dividend. But honestly, if their energy is not channelized, that can become a
That's it.
demographic disaster. But Faisal, what exactly, you're a young member yourself, and of you have been so close to Khan Sahab for the last maybe 20, 25 years. What exactly Khan Sahab is thinking for the youth, basically, sir?
Well, you're absolutely right. The backbone of PTI is the youth of Pakistan, where we have over 70% of the population is below the age of 35.
Correct.
So the youth, we have to give them the right direction. So all our policies are basically focusing on the youth and the poor of the country. Now remember, we just started, okay, it's been like 9 months. First Choti Eid, as you said. So our policies will, when their results will start coming, you will feel the change. Probably you have already started feeling it. Like I just mentioned, the whole month of Ramadan, there was no load shedding.
That's
So that's one aspect. But other things as well, the foreign policy has improved a lot. And so many other things I can get into details. But yes, it's a difficult time, no doubt about that. Because, I don't want to be too political here, but whatever has been happening in past, we all know that. I don't want to get into figures and all.
Yeah.
But yes, long-term policies will help. And we're doing that.
Yeah.
So result will come. 1 and 2 years, they're difficult times. But then you will see, you will feel the change. And particularly youth, they're very motivated, they're energetic and very talented. You've got talented youth in Pakistan. And a great future ahead, and you'll get to experience yourself.
No, definitely,
Yes.
and we're very hopeful about that, I guess. Just coming back to our topic, which is Eid. So, when it comes to Eid shopping, do you go and select your own kurta? Do you go to the tailor, or does someone do it for you? Are you
I
lucky
might
enough for
sound
someone?
very boring, but here's another idea, which you see, all ideas are giving, I've sort of implemented those myself. It's been like more than 12 years, I didn't buy anything for myself.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 years. I don't believe in it. I'll wear that Faisal bhai, I know him very well. And I'll walk into Eid with my usual whatever it is, and I'll just see in the morning decide kya pehenna hai, kapde
It
kya.
should be pressed properly.
And
that's
do you buy it though, or does someone do it for you?
No, usually जो साल का चल रहा होता है वही चल रहा होता है तो वही पहन लेते हैं तो कोई particular on Eid day there's no like conscious effort to that.
Okay.
So that's there.
Okay.
But yes, on Eid day, another idea. It's not a request, another idea. Do not.
You've got many
just-
ideas.
When you get together, especially people like you, or anchor persons and politicians, they want to have 1 day break from the usual stuff for sure.
Yeah.
When they meet their relatives, cousins, and they'll start talking about politics. Please don't do that because
One day.
One day.
Only one day.
So it happens.
Meena, what would you say? Do you think that this is unfortunately something that happens all the time? Because definitely, I will agree with you. I'm not a politician, but I'm a
But
doctor.
still, yeah.
We just talk about patience, you know, which is sad, but it's a bit of catharsis. Do you think that politicians do that a lot as well when they meet?
Well, I do agree what Faisal is saying that one day should be a break. But 2-3 days back, I went to Iftar, a very close friends Iftar, and everybody mentioned there that listen, no, I was quiet, and of course, the few friends from PTI, a few from PMLN, so they all were sitting. I was quiet. So they think, guys, nobody is going to discuss politics. I said, okay, because I was, of course, all day after having a great hectic day, then the talk shows, you really want to have a break. Could you believe after exact 5 minutes, they all were talking politics, and they said, why are you quiet? I said, because you said nobody's going to talk politics, and now you are talking. So yes, we have to discuss few things more. We should have to talk more about the childhood memories, or to live in a moment for a while. Like I still remember among our neighbors on Badi Eid, one of my husband's friend's mother, she was so generous. She cooked that they call it kaleji or something in a form. Everybody was waiting for that moment, that when Qurbani is going to happen, everybody is going to eat that food and all. So that is a moment of joy. And sometimes in previous years there was a time when both fasts are on same time. So that was also very amazing. We enjoyed a lot. But now, even as you've mentioned about your kid, the same. So do I. I have a 12-year son. He's not very much, happy or conscious or what
Excited.
There is no
none,
excitement.
yeah.
Come on, let's go for some. No, I don't want to go. And I'm enjoying with my friend, and we're talking, and they have no more interest what's happening, how to enjoy. But one thing which I really want to say that I think somehow the fault is not with the kids, it's with us. Because like as you've mentioned about your father, I still remember my grandfather, because I've been brought with I was not having parents, so I was being brought with my grandfather and grandmother. He used to plan that at any cost, once in a month we have to go for an outing.
Okay.
And anybody likes or don't like it, that doesn't matter.
You had
go.
to.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now we also take liberty that okay, fine, they don't want to go.
The concept of picnics.
true.
Yes.
Oh,
that-
yes.
It has
picnics.
died almost.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
How
Then
amazing
mango
were
parties.
they?
Seriously.
You know, the mango
amazing.
parties, who is going to
yes.
make the best mango dish
Definitely.
or something like
A one dish party.
Yes.
It's so simple.
Now it's missing. Now it's more of a kitty parties and
Yeah.
Oh yes, and it's all about the good bags and the I think it's all about it's sad. It's so sad, isn't
Yeah, and
it?
Eid shopping still, I love to remember recall those memories, like all the friends and Eidies from the neighbors, from
Oh,
the
yes.
friends. The
Wonderful.
bangles are coming,
Yeah.
and
Wonderful.
everybody is going to have dholak on Chandrat, and nobody's thinking about the expensive clothes or brands. It's always about any simple thing with gota or
yes.
something. So these are the things, these are the components which are I think missing in the society. But I think again, not only a request, I think it's a message. Because in the coming days, what memories are kids going to have?
No, definitely.
Only PS4 or maybe the
Absolutely,
fighting or maybe
absolutely.
the Mission Impossible which they are playing. So these are the things.
You're
No,
absolutely
definitely, and also the factor that you mentioned, you getting you're buying your piece of cloth and then taking it to a tailor and then getting the gota, the lace for it, and then that's all gone. It's all about designer lawn. Women are pushing, shoving. It's unfortunately it's
Still
sad.
gives encouragement. Who is wearing what on
Exactly.
Eid, who's putting good gota on the dupatta or on a shirt or
Even
something
the
like
kind
that.
of style you
Yeah.
have with henna.
Definitely. Yes.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, who's done it? Who's the
and
star in the
while
family?
saying you, I was thinking, oh my God.
Exactly, yes. I mean, look at us now. We don't have any henna on. That's not a good start.
Yeah.
I think we need to do something tonight.
Yeah, we
But
will.
that is the part of culture. But I would say that things are changing
Definitely.
with the time. Culture is also eroding, because now we used to hear about this word global village. Now it is practically felt that this is a global village. Just imagine, without any cost, you dial a number and you can see that person and you can talk to that person live for hours and hours without even paying a single penny. Things have changed, right? You can be in touch. But at the same time, that particular aspect of, for example, Eid, like Eidi, we used to wait for certain uncles that they
the
give more Eidi and we would stay at home and
especially
we'll once
for
you
the
get
new
Eidi.
rupees, new currency notes.
Yeah, they would smell so good, new currency notes and
Yeah,
all.
10 rupees, 5 rupees. Now
Honestly,
you give 5,000, nobody's happy.
They're not
They're not happy. They said, no, it's like We can't get the CD in that. Sorry.
So it's
This is
sad.
exactly the problem.
It's sad.
right?
It's very
And we would be
sad.
happy, I still remember buying chalk bars or
Yeah,
ice cream,
polka
little
chalk
things,
bars.
you remember? The polka is history, that chalk bar it does exist, I guess, in certain
Yeah, it's
brands,
with,
but that
polka.
particular polka chalk bar or that cup,
Yeah.
little,
Yummy 36.
and now, there weren't any, so many burger places, maximum you would end up getting a good
Under
sandwich.
Shami.
Yeah.
And now you've got like
Under
loads and
Shami.
loads of places, you can just pick up the phone, order and they'll deliver it
Yeah.
home.
Yes.
So there is that curiosity.
Those burgers were treats for us.
No,
yeah, that's what has changed.
Do you think it has something to do with us giving too much to our children probably, and them not getting excited about what they're getting when they're getting it? Because we're already giving them so much that the sort of excitement, as you say, is gone. Like everything is taken for granted, and you think, oh well, that's just another CD. Oh.
Well, to be very honest, as being a mother, like I have 3 kids. My elder daughter is now going to be 23.
Oh, mashallah, you've done really well. You really have.
I got early married, but not child marriage.
Okay.
Well, so I have seen like my elder is 23, going to be 23 this year, and then my middle one is 17, then my youngest one is 12. So I have seen 3 stages in my kids. What I've seen, like my elder daughter, she's still different from both of them. Like she's having more care, more affiliation with the elders, with the cousins, feeling that pain, that love. But the middle one and the last one, like now they don't bother, because when she was growing up, that time there was not that much McDonald's. It was that time it started after like 96, that comes in Pakistan, and now it's everywhere, and then so many other things. So you're right that now the things are very easily available. At our times, our most joy was like, going to Lahore and to get the go-go burger. That time, it was Shazan also. And then Yummy 36 ice cream bar to have fun in that. And now things are they have lots of variety, lots of choices.
Spoiled for choice, yes.
But now they have less, because it's not only them, it's again us as well, because now we are not having that much time. We also feel like that, things are easy. Why should we cook? Let it ready-made stuff come here. And that I still remember like my granny on like Christmas and on Eid especially, they're making special dishes, pie and kebab and I don't know, the hunter beef is cooking on and all. So everybody's have to be there, and we have to set the table for. And now nobody's having time.
No.
They all are like busy in their lives. But I think it's again us as well, because we also not paying that much time, or the quality of time which we should have.
Quality of time, that's so true.
Yes.
We have to look into
because
it.
we are all running. The life has become like a machine. As he was mentioning about the PTV in the old times, I still remember by 10 o'clock Farmane Ilahi was the last.
Bismillah, Basirat.
And then the Farmane
And
Ilahi,
then, yeah.
and then done. So that was means the time.
That's
I
it.
still remember the Subah Mustansir Hussain Tarid Saab's morning show.
Yes.
5 minutes cartoon before going to school, and then Pyari Baat, Subah Ki Baat. So these are still missing components, which I think it should be.
As a kid, I still remember when TV used to start at around 5 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
And maximum, I remember, at 10, there used to be Saturday Night Special movie.
Yeah.
Or a program, Planet of the Apes or something of that sort. And I still remember Skarsky and Hutch and Little House on the Prairies.
Yes.
So yeah, like I'm talking about late 70s and early 80s.
Okay.
And it's gone.
Yeah,
Now
definitely.
a kid has got like option, which is like, at least he's having about 1,000 channels or something.
Oh, definitely.
And then
Yeah.
YouTube on top.
And then the parents are still tense that what they're watching, but still we want to, ask them not to watch, but then you don't know what they're going on.
Absolutely.
Lots of things
Faisal,
are-
what's your sort of take on the whole situation? Because definitely times have changed, and
Next
yes, you're
idea.
right. Yeah, now what's the next? Yeah, because you've given us 2 so far. Is there any other piece of advice?
Here's another idea.
And how do you manage your time? Now becoming a full-time politician.
Yeah.
And answerable
Juggling.
to the whole nation basically. And being in the TV shows and all the
it's
time.
very tough.
And how do you manage that life, which you used to enjoy with still you enjoy, but the kids, that part, do they miss
I
you?
think probably we are not managing life. Life is managing us somehow.
Technically, yeah.
It's really difficult.
Very well said,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, but time management is something that all Pakistanis have to really work on that. We are lacking on that front. When we go abroad, we see people are so well organized, managed, disciplined. We're all over the place.
That's
to be
what Anita
fair.
just said, that she's come back and she's
We
surprised.
have to admit it.
That's
There's
true.
no concept of time management in Pakistan. So we really need to work on that. And as I was completely involved in your conversation, it was a very branded conversation, too many brands coming in, and nostalgic feeling as well at the same time. So I brought up as, you know, PTV, I think played a fantastic role, household item.
Absolutely.
So my idea, next idea, the third idea, is just an idea. And that is that feed your children with old PTV dramas, plays. I have DVDs at home. I know all those directors, producers, and I even know dialogues of those dramas.
Yeah, wow, legendary
So
stuff.
every drama would definitely teach you something,
Yeah, there were
right?
lessons.
I don't want to criticize what's happening these days, but you all know that. We don't want to get into that
Especially you're
debate.
the member of the steering committee. You're the chairman
Yes,
actually of the
yes.
steering
So
committee.
I've
of
been
media.
raising this thing as well, that we need to work upon our content.
Because this is how you
strategy.
set narrative. That's how you sort of inculcate so many good things in the
Definitely,
basically,
definitely.
Now,
Yeah,
each
yeah.
episode of, for example, each episode of Andhera Ujala
Yeah.
would definitely teach you something.
Yeah.
This is a bad thing, you're not supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Kids would watch it and they'll get a message.
Absolutely, sir. We grew up watching that.
What's happening
Even
right
Alif
now
Noon, if you remember.
is that the
Yeah,
Saas,
Tanhaiya, Dhoop
Tanhaiya.
Kinare.
the Saas Bahu has become a joke now.
It
Saas
has,
Bahu
it has.
Stories and all that. So I think if you feed them with old content of PTV dramas, the slow, of course, speed of market is not there, but again, speed to market is not there. But again, they can get used to it, so they'll learn a lot from it.
And do you think that you know, when we talk about you know, the way things have changed and our children have changed, do you think it's also partially because when we look at our parents, they were totally dedicated to just us, and their main priority in life was mum's at home, she's taking care of us, and dad's working. Whereas now times have changed in such a way that mum's also working, whereas dad's working, and parents are still chasing their own dreams and still trying to achieve their own goals, and so they can't give their 100% to the children. Is that
Absolutely right.
partially? Because I can say that with conviction, because you know, this is exactly what happened in my case. I mean, I was chasing my training as a, you know, as a doctor. My son was with my
But
mom.
You are sounding like a PhD doctor in psychology for sure. Exactly, you're right. Absolutely right.
Yeah,
That's
it's unfortunate, isn't it? I mean, the way our parents were dedicated to us, and you know, like it's the whole system has changed now. The whole system, you know. And then, as you said, because we're so tired and exhausted, we think, oh well, you know, let's just dial the number and order takeaway for them. Khana kaun banayega? Who's gonna cook now? You know, just little things, little
absolutely.
things.
But
little
Alita, there are few
things.
things. You know, for example, I'll just give you one example.
Yeah.
This war on terror, when we were
Yeah.
growing up, this phenomenon never existed.
No.
Yeah.
Now we are so scared to say, I mean, honestly speaking, not scared as such,
Yeah.
but a little more reluctant.
Reluctant.
Yeah, because you know, the kind of school we are choosing is not on
Oh,
the basis
yes.
of education.
It's
It's
of
the basis
security
of
and
security and safety. That's a fact.
Oh.
And then on top, I mean, the kind of, you know, we were like kind of distant in a way from our parents. We were like, you know, daddy is sleeping, no, nothing. But at the same time, you know, my kids are like
Used
my
to be
friends
like
now. Things are changing.
Yes.
Maybe for multiple reasons.
But you know, still, there are a few good things as well. Now, kids are more understanding as well. As Faisal mentioned, you know, I still remember when parents or the elders are coming, we all, in respect, either we want or we don't want, we want to shout or play. We used to be quiet because, okay, now elders are here. Quiet, don't talk, don't drag your feet. Now the kids are all as much as...
Don't
the
run
parents-
on the stairs
Yes.
if you're going
And
up.
don't make too
and
much
down.
noise.
And to
Yeah.
hide ourselves. And
Don't make too much noise.
and then, you know, another thing, as you were, because I'm also full-time working as a politician too, but you know, now things are so much changed. And the special part before that, you know, there was the time when you were saying that mothers and fathers were dedicated. That time there was not internet so much working,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely, yes.
At the moment they came back home, it means finish.
Finish.
No more office, no more office discussion. But now we have to, you know, grab the finish our work and to, you know, to match with the speed of others. So, you know, emails, lots of work,
Definitely.
presentations, and doing so many things. And as being a politician, to be very honest, I believe we don't get any time for ourselves even. Sometimes, like, I just got myself, or for catharsis of mine, I do poetry. But because I found only this is the way where you can you do, because sometimes coming from one talk show to another, you are like, here we are maybe talking softly, and other we have to, you know, one is more on high pitch, another is on. So things are so much changed. Like if we talk about the media, I must say they should not show so much talk shows. Now the prime time is what? It's just talk shows. So what kids are going to watch?
No, it's definitely right. You know, how do we unwind,
Absolutely.
Faisal?
Before that,
You know, how do
8
we
o'clock
unwind?
was always the drama time. Khwahish and these type of
Definitely,
dramas.
yes, yeah.
I
Families
remember,
would sit together and watch a drama.
I hope
Yeah.
Faisal you remember, or like the shops used to be closed on the evenings. That what's happening, everybody is going home to watch the dramas. But now things have changed.
No, definitely, and you're
Yeah,
absolutely
absolutely.
right. Work is following you home now
Yeah.
because you've got an email and your boss is asking you to do something or wants you to respond immediately.
Plus the
WhatsApp.
mobile phone.
You're so accessible.
I mean, you exactly.
Like the boss can call you at night as well.
It's yes,
So here's another idea.
okay, go on.
I think
the
this
ideas are flowing.
Yes, please grab
So
it.
go ahead.
is probably the fourth idea.
Yes, it is the fourth. I'm keeping account.
All right. As she talked about, you see, 8 to 9 o'clock, the
Yeah.
time, prime time. And not only that, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9
Till
to
11
10, 10
o'clock.
to 11.
Yes, sir.
It's 6 to
on and on.
7 as well.
in
Yeah.
the morning, it's in
As
the
well.
morning shows
Morning
have
talk
also,
Yeah.
converted into news shows now, many of them. So there's a lot of information, then WhatsApp, then Facebook, then YouTube and all that. There's so much
Social
Too much.
information, full of depression.
Yes.
Why can't we talk about positive things? Okay, just give 1 week to Pakistan. Just pick up positive things and start hammering. As
Like
you
now
do
we are
negative.
doing.
Yes.
You hammer negative news all the time. Just start hammering
breaking
positive.
news.
See how the society changes.
At least the mindset would change to some
Mindset,
extent.
yes. I'll tell you an
And that would
example.
make the
And that
difference.
was not it was not in our government. It was way back, General Musharraf's government.
Yeah.
I was standing here at F7 out of an ATM machine. There was a lady, she came out and she said, "Nahi chal rahi hai. Pakistan hai na isliye."
Yeah.
And I said, no, there's another way of looking at it. When I get here in F7, got almost 10 ATM machines, and I'm sure this is the only one not working. Have you tried any other? She said, no, Meke. Just 2 minutes away, you can find another one, and probably that's working. Let's go together. And it was working. And I said, look, this is the positive.
Yeah.
Probably not in any other country. You would have to drive to another ATM machine.
Absolutely.
Here in F7, you have, no, I think it's more than 20 ATM machines in F7, I guess now. So back there was 10.
You will find ATMs abroad either on the gas stations
Yeah.
or
Very
in some markets. Yeah, that's
difficult
it.
to find.
Yes,
Hardly,
you can get it in
hardly.
the hotels everywhere.
Yes, everywhere. So that's a positive
Yeah.
thing. Then there's
And it's a machine. It
It's
can
a
break-
machine,
yeah.
exactly.
The para guy was, I think, made a new record of, reaching 7 peaks, I guess, more than that. And then many other stories. This, what's her name? IBM award winner. I don't remember her name. I should have remembered because news should have told me. News channels should have.
Is
told
it
me
Alpha
about it.
Kareem Randhawa you're talking about?
No. Recently, a couple
Arfa
of weeks
was,
back.
she passed away, but she
Yeah,
was in
I think
IT.
she was in IT.
Yeah.
And like there's a huge.
So no, that's the point. Why I'm forgetting her name? I should not be. Here's the reason: because nobody told me about
That's
it.
it. Then
I
there's
just
a
had to
petition.
Google it,
Yeah.
search it, and find all the positive news about Pakistan. So I mean, we have to mention these things. We have
Because
to
if
talk
you have
about
to
these
brand
things.
Pakistan, if you have to market Pakistan in its true sense, this I'm not saying that exaggerate things. At least
Real.
show what exactly is here.
Exactly.
I have traveled a lot. I've seen, as people say, Switzerland is so beautiful. I've seen Switzerland. I've been, and I tell you one thing. If we look after our own sceneries,
Yeah, they're
Absolutely.
more
that is
global.
unbelievable.
True,
we talk
true.
about one Sefil Maluk, there are at least 2 dozen on the right and 2 dozen on the
yeah.
left where you're going,
Yeah.
when you're
Definitely.
flying towards Gilgit.
There's
And
no
it's the fact-
place like
Exactly.
Islamabad.
I talk-
You know,
yes,
they
yes.
talk
Yes.
about
Most beautiful
seriously.
capitals, yeah.
They talk about all these beautiful places and getting lots of tourism. There is no place like Islamabad, and I tell you this after waiting,
Same
visiting
here.
26
Same here.
destinations.
I
also-
No place like Islamabad. And I tell my husband every time, every time we land in Pakistan, I'm like, look at this place. Look at how beautiful this is.
Exactly.
It's so sad.
As Faisal, exactly what you said. You're absolutely right. Why? Because you don't have to exaggerate. You don't have to talk about soft image of Pakistan.
No.
The real image of
Absolutely.
Pakistan.
That's what I'm saying.
And yes, no doubt, Islamabad is one of the most beautiful capital cities in the world.
Definitely.
It is.
Definitely.
So yeah, so we have to focus on this, and this is how do it for 1 week, and you'll see. This was idea number 4. I have another idea, but
And you can go ahead with your 5th one.
Yeah, you
honestly,
can.
because these are all good ideas so far.
Beautiful ideas,
and makes
yes.
a lot of sense. Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead?
In a bit, yeah. I just think about it.
Any idea which is popping up?
But you just make it up.
Well, are you aware, as of course, like right now, 4 of us, we are sitting, we're not discussing politics.
No,
we're
we're
talking
not,
about
exactly.
the positive and the beautiful memories of our childhood or for the younger age and all. So I believe, yes, Pakistan, as you have mentioned, I have been a lot among like globally, I don't know, so many countries I have been a lot. But trust me, after 2-3 days, honestly, I feel like coming back home. People said that Switzerland is beautiful. I've been there.
It's neat, it's clean, yeah.
It's neat and clean, but then, you know, like after 5 or 6, you feel like yourself alien over there. So I was feeling it like it's what's different in it. It's same, we have more beautiful
If you go there in
sceneries.
summers, yes, it's beautiful, but you will end up, you know, it's like
It's
7,
same.
8, 9, and you know the sunset
Yeah.
is at 12:30 at midnight. Can you imagine?
Yeah, so we are blessed. Our country is blessed.
All
we
the
have
weathers, all the
best-
seasons,
all
everything.
seasons, all the best fruits, vegetables we have.
I swear the taste.
Yes, the best
That's
taste we have, and yes, the people from abroad. And one thing which I always said to everybody, and of course I want to mention it over here as well, it's not that the picture are very different in UK or America or anywhere else in the world. Over there, crime rate is so much, so many things
Look
are
at
there.
New York for that matter.
But
Look at
you know,
London,
the media,
the
Absolutely.
the media and state is on one line.
That's
so
it.
We and they don't show so much negativity and so much brutal sort of a thing. And even, you know, that cartoons, you can't see over there, like which have any sort of a material of hate or violence. But over here we have to show each and everything. And you know, this is somewhere which is very much bad. Now, if you talk, as we were talking about the breaking news, and now if somebody is saying that some blast happened, now people, oh, okay, it's
Just
okay.
another one. It's just another one.
Fine.
So breaking
How many
news
people,
is
you know?
basically a news that's breaking your
Yeah.
heart.
That's
Yeah,
it.
so
Oh,
that's-
definitely.
And now
Stole my
people-
breath.
Heartbreaking news.
So now people don't worry about that. Now they say now they're immune. Even the children, like, you know, because for we are getting the calls from abroad. Oh God, are you okay?
Is everything okay?
They
Yeah,
sensitize.
absolutely.
What happened?
Yeah.
Oh, we heard that blast. I said, oh, acha, no, but no, we are fine. We didn't know because we are immune now.
Definitely.
So I think it's more Faisal, as he's also sitting over here. I must request him, and of course on the for the Pakistan, we all are on one page.
Absolutely. Yes,
Right?
exactly.
Because we all are because of this country. If this country will not exist, where we gonna stand? So I must say that we should have to work on it, and we should come up with a more positive and more blessings
Absolutely.
and more beautiful.
Faisal, last 30 seconds, a message from you, sir.
Okay, just here's another idea, fifth
Fifth
idea.
idea.
That once a year or twice a year, probably. Jitni dafa marzi hai tumhari. Acha. Take your kids back to your past. To your past.
Take them to your school.
So, yeah.
To show them around.
See, you have to do that. Otherwise, there's a huge disconnect. We know that for a fact that you cannot go back. You cannot live in your past. You can learn from your past.
Absolutely.
But this generation has to visit the
You
previous
should have some
generation.
sort of a link
Definitely.
with that.
No,
Yeah.
I
So they
totally
can
agree
relate
with it.
to it.
Exactly,
Exactly.
exactly.
But anyway, Faisal, and you know, I wish we had more time.
Definitely.
But totally running out of time. That is exactly what I've been told by
Thank
my
you very
producer.
much. Eid Mubarak, especially to those people who are on duty, like
Like all of us. Like all of us.
like this guy.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Faisal. And Arita, I think
Definitely.
it's time to say goodbye. We'll see you again. Till then, you take good care of yourself. Eid Mubarak once again. Khuda Hafiz.